Welcome back to Chaos Corner. It's your old buddy, the guardian of chaos, Big Daddy. And I tell it like it is. Or for these purposes, it's your old buddy, GOC Esquire, Kirkland Esquire, if you want to be technical. Now, I just want to say this from the beginning. I was advised against this and not to come down here and to do this show. Well, let me even get it straight, because you could see that I'm not myself already. To do the review show of Night 5, Round 1 of Avi Klein's 64-person single elimination bracket-style tournament. Now, of course, you know that on Saturday night I was in an elimination matchup against Pinocchio Joe. Series was tied 1-1. It's been little over 48 hours, and if you've seen my social media and you've gone to the account of Jay Brony on Facebook, and then of course all of mine on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube. I've been advised against this, to come down here against medical advice, because of the alleged, and I'm not going to say it's alleged, but from what happened this past Saturday night, where I was either drugged, roofied, something. I'm not sure quite what happened. So bear with me. I'm not sure if this is going to be a part 1, and then I'll try to get back with a part 2. Like I said, I'm still recovering. I'm trying to hydrate. We may take a break or two. This is the result of the green room and what happened. And we're still investigating, but I have my theories and I have my thoughts on what I think happened on this past Saturday night. So I'm going to try. We have a lot to cover. We have a lot to get through. Stay with me here on all social media platforms. Stay to the end. We have a lot of information. I'm bouncing over to the YouTube. Green Room, Night 5, the WWAB network. That's what we're going to be covering here. Bear with me. Fans, this is not going to be edited. This will not be cut out. So if you don't want this to be too graphic, you could change the channel now. I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to try to get through, because I gave my commitment and my word to the fans and to the people at the the WWAB Podcast Network and the sponsors. So bear with me here. Okay. Listen, if it gets too bad, I'll cut this off and we won't cover this. But Night 5, Round 1. Let me compose myself here. We got a lot to cover. So Avi Klein's Green Room, Night 5, a lot happened. There were a lot of twists and turns. I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly for as long as I can go here. Like I said, this may be a two-part to try to get this out. We have time to let this soak in before Night 6 comes up this Saturday, June 12th, live. It's a big mystery night. A lot of people are supposed to show up. There's a lot of things going on coming up this Saturday night on Night 6. Listen, who knows who's going to show up on the Green Room, because we know everyone wants to be in the Green Room. And yes, for those that are wondering, I've changed things around down here in the bunker, 20 feet below the surface of the earth. This was a crime scene. Don't think the authorities haven't been here to investigate everything down here in the bunker. They've taken the glass, they've taken the beverage, they've taken the liquid. I'm waiting for them to get back to me. So in the meantime, it's all been cleared. Everything's been cleaned up down here. Everything's been fingerprinted. I don't know who left this behind. I don't even know if this was mine or not mine. I'm still semi-dehydrated. So bear with me here as we try to rumble through this. I'm going to skip the opening monologue. But again, just bear with me on this. And if I lean over, I'll try to get it off camera. There's no editing here. There's nothing going on. I don't chop this up. What you see is what you get. Live to tape. This is why I didn't go to Facebook Live. Because I'm just not feeling right. So we're all clear down here with the GOC, but I'm going to move on. I don't know what's going to happen with my matchup. We're going to cover this in the night of night 5. There's a lot going on. But let me forge on. Let me be professional. Let me show you that under any circumstances, that under anything that could happen, that I could still perform. The show must go on. Whether there's 5 people, 5,000 people, 5 million people, whether you're sick, whether you're half dead, it doesn't matter. Whether someone's alleged to kill you, whether you have to look over your shoulder. The show must go on, and I'm going to do what I committed to do. I'm going to do what I committed to do. So bear with me. I'm not quite sure what's in here. It's a special brew that was made by the medical associates to get all the alleged drugs, or a roofie. I don't know. I didn't find any Vaseline anywhere, so I don't know. So let's move on. Let's forge on. Let me try to get a little pep. Let me try to get a little energy. Let me try to see what's going on here. Let me pick up the pace here. Let me pick up the pace. We're 6 minutes in. Bing, bing, bing. Hold on, wait. There's nobody down here to shut the camera off. Is this thing still on? Should I cut this? Just cut this off? Somebody. All right. You're out on a desert island, kid. Live to tape. Let's go. Damn it. Okay. Night 5, round 1, the WWAB Podcast Network. We know the lineup, 7 nights a week. Here's what we have. Monday at 6 p.m., it's the World's Strongest Podcast with Ken Patera and Avi Klein. Tuesdays, it's the Double Clip. The Double Dip with Glacier Ray Lloyd, Breaking the Ice, and then Face Value and Bill DeMott. Wednesdays, 7 p.m., Maintaining the Truth with Paul Roma. Thursdays, the preview or review show, and a huge announcement to come on board for Thursday nights. Fridays, the most important show perhaps in the country, especially after what happened to myself. Road to Recovery with Duke the Dumpster Drosy. Sunday, Unmasking the Truth with Del Wilkes. And of course, Saturdays, The Green Room, where all this started. And if I'm not better here in the next minute to 2 minutes, I'm canceling this. And I'm going to redo this. I'm sorry, WAB Network. I'm sorry, Avi Klein. I'm sorry, the fans, the producers, the sponsors. If I can't get through this, I said it at the beginning. I'm giving myself to the 10-minute mark. And if I can't gain my composure and feel... What's that? And feel a little bit better, I'm not going to do this. We already have enough to cover. I have pages and pages from night 5. I might have almost 20 pages. Bear with me. What's that? This is a shoot. Anahu. Please give me till 10 minutes, please. Anahu. Fans, stay with me, please. Facebook. Anahu. YouTube. Twitter. Anahu. Instagram. Anahu. Twitch. Anahu. Gab. Who even parlor? Live, tape. Okay, we're 10 minutes in. Okay? Let's see if I talk myself out of it. The power of strength, the power of mind, the power to perform and move on. Let's go. Here we go. Night 5, round 1, the WWAB Podcast Network. We already said 7 nights a week. We understand the lineup. Go to it. If you don't understand what's going on, I don't know what to tell you. Hop on board. Pete from Sharpie opens up with a brief recap of Night 4 and a preview of Night 5. He welcomes everyone to Night 5 of the WWAB Podcast Network and the single elimination bracket style tournament of the Green Room. Now, Pete has gotten awfully good at this. I will say that to say this, because I tell it like it is. Pete has come into his own. Although he got defeated by Sally Kirkland, he comes out to be not only an influential person as the judge and as a national sponsor, but he has also turned into quite the performer. Who knew? Pete from Sharpie. I've said that before. Pete, and I want you to notice what I'm doing here to get through this, because I have to bring this to the fans and because I want to show you how hard I will work. Avi for the Green Room. So what Pete recaps is, we know what happened from Night 4. The atom bomb. Feel the wrath of Brian Clark against the Typhoon in the tugboat of Fred Ottman, the Shockmaster. Ooh! We know that it's tied 1-1 in the best-of-3 matchup. And the next time the Irresistible Force and the Immovable Object face each other, pro wrestling legends, talented men, serve this country, Brian Clark. It's an elimination matchup the next time you two men meet. We also covered B. Brian Blair, a buzz buzz, a buzz buzz, a buzz buzz, a buzz buzz is up 1-0 against the murder hornet Eric Heron, military veteran, a true patriot, one sincere individual who has inspired me to get through this show and this review show of Night 5 because of the things that he has relayed to me and how tough that bastard is. The bottom line is they were dead even in this tournament. Pete tells us it's now up 1-0 for B. Brian Blair, the pro wrestling legend, the thespian, the president of the Cauliflower Alley Club. Does it get any more important than that? I don't think so. And of course, as we exposed in my last review show from Night 4, the return and the great reset of one of the originals as Pete brings back pro wrestling grappling legend Mickey Doyle. It was good to see the original back, and yeah, okay, there was a big kumbaya with Howard Collado and David Holliday, and then they turned on each other like they always do. That's what the original 4 of the Green Room is really all about. So it was good to see Mickey back, I guess, as long as I don't have to compete against you. But you have enough of your own problems. As the Brood, former WWE alumni, and one scary individual, Gangrel, put you in your place. And you are down now 1-0, Mickey Doyle. That's right, Gangrel. Perhaps one of the most relevant men to be in this tournament right now in the mainstream. It doesn't get much scarier than the Vampire Warrior and to have Gangrel. So Mickey Doyle, you have enough to worry about. And that's what Pete relayed to us. We also talked about, well, Pete reviewed this, so I'm reviewing what Pete reviewed on what happened on Night 4. You know that, right? So bear with me. Again, I'm trying to take my time. I can't get too worked up. They advised me not even to do this, so please bear with me. We may be here for an hour and a half, 2 hours, I don't know. But stay to the end because I'm under the weather. I'm not feeling good. You guys have to bear with me here, but I'm going to forge on. So Pete covers the huge, huge announcements and interviews from Hollywood that Avi Klein did. Unbelievable. We had John Amos on from Good Times, from all the different legendary shows that John Amos has been on, the legendary actor of TV and film. And of course, 2 very entertaining men, from Star Trek the series to Wonder Years to all sci-fi movies to even the Command Center now, or is it Space Command? The incredible film industry stars of Robert Picardo and Mark Zickery. It doesn't get any bigger than that. What Avi pulled off with having John Amos, Robert Picardo, Mark Zickery on in the same show, night 4, may have been the most impactful, biggest night of the community of the WWAB. And again, over 1.5 million live viewers every Saturday night on this platform. It's a cross between Days of Our Lives and the original SNL, or hold on, or as I like to say, General Hospital and SCTV. Which you guys get the point, right? You get the point. Unbelievable. And we also find out, and again, it's obvious that Avi Klein, who his favorite is, we had David Holliday in the Mr. Main Event, hats if you will, against Jamie Sparling. It really was something. To hear Pete break it down, but here's the bottom line. Pete says that David Holliday is the fan favorite. I don't know how he could say that. I don't know where he comes up with that. Avi says he's the odds-on favorite. Holliday is self-proclaimed the most dominant guy in the tournament. Yeah, okay, you got screwed. I'll give you that much. But really, we're going to go down that road? The bottom line is, David Holliday, I was responsible for you winning one of the times that you did win. And I will never forget that. Jay Brony reminds me of it all the time. The bottom line is Jamie Sparling beat your ass, and it's now 1-1 in the best of 3. And the next time you two guys face each other, just like I said about Tugboat and Adam Bomb, it's an elimination matchup, David Holliday. So you could get screwed again and be on the sidelines and be off Broadway like you have been before. And now Jamie Sparling will step up to the plate with love as opposed to your hate, David Holliday. I was a fan of yours at one time. David Holliday. I really was. I supported you. I voted for you. You know that. Now you're on your own against Jamie Sparling. It's tied 1-1. So Pete, unbelievable. So I'll give Pete credit. He's stepping into, this guy's got a future besides a sponsor. And then Pete goes into the night 5 lineup. I don't want to make this too long. We're 17 minutes in. We're going to see how long I go. Hopefully I can get through this whole thing, or I'll have to bring a part 2 to you. And then Pete proceeds to go through the night 5 lineup. Howard has a mystery opponent. Miranda and Maria face each other. Mindy has a mystery opponent. James and Jessica are back. Of course, I'm on the show. We know what happened. We're going to cover that in this review. We will get to it, but it's not about me. So that may be the last thing I cover, or near the end of the show, as I take on in my elimination matchup, and you see that I'm still here. So let that be a spoiler alert. Against Pinocchio Joe. Also, Glacier Ray Lloyd against Evan Ginsberg. 2 of the most influential men, star creators here on the WWAB, and that are in this Green Room tournament. I don't have to say anything more about Glacier and Evan. You stay tuned, and it was one of the most intense, interesting, make you think matchups that you could have in the Green Room. We also have the grudge match that ended up night 5. So stick around to the end. Stick around, because Duke the Dumpster Droese and Rich Masadi, the main event. Don't look at me. I don't feel good. I haven't recovered. Don't look at me, fans. I don't think this is the high def. I think I turned it off. Rich Masadi and Duke in the main event. So stick around. We're almost 20 minutes in here on this review. From the bunker. Night 5, round 1. Stick with me, please. If you can stay an hour and a half to 2 hours, 7 nights a week on the WWAB network with Avi Klein and all those stars, you can stay here. I'm off screen. No, I'm okay, sweetheart. No. I'm okay. I'm off screen. We'll cut this up. We'll edit it out. Don't worry about it. 20 minutes in. I'll get through this. All right, fans. Thank you. Bear with. I apologize. Exactly at the 20-minute mark. Here we go. Let's get on to this. Let's get the work done. Here we go. After the lineup, we talked about it. The opening trailer, the opening monologue, the green room history from September 12th of 2020. What Avi Klein has produced and put out here is like a small film and should be put in the small film festivals, Cannes, whatever it is. And I want to be there, Avi, because it should be in the small film or a big film or some sort of film festival. I don't know what. That's how good the production and the creativity of Avi Klein is for these video montages, and especially the openings and the ones when you close off. I don't know what you call them. I don't care what you call them. They're trailers, they're promos. They're unbelievable. Could somebody turn off? What's going on here? No, let me focus on the task at hand. So that opening trailer, fans, that right there, if that doesn't capture you and explain what has been going on. We are right now in June of 2021, coming up on a huge night on June 12th for night 6 of 2021 in round 1 here of the Green Room Tournament. This started in September 12th of 2020, and you see how it's grown. All the stars from film and TV and entertainment and sports and music and pro wrestling and every walk of life and the theater, and yes, you, the fans. And of course, the GOC is in the tournament. And I'm blessed and fortunate and humble to be in the tournament. And I've survived. I'm alive right now. I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know what's going to happen after this. So the opening trailer really is unbelievable. And we look at the different folks briefly here before we get on to it. And again, you have to stick with me here. I don't know how long this is going to take. We already know the people that have been on the Green Room, if you look through this small video and montage, as award-winning film, if you want to call short film, in just my opinion. You talk about Sally Kirkland, the award-winning actress, Timothy Busfeld, Peter Melman, Scott William Winters, Ken Patera, Mark Henry, Andrew Cassase, Michael Winslow, Todd Bridges, Diane Franklin, scheduled to appear, card always subject to change, William Dafoe, Antonio Banderas, John Goodman, a Hall of Famer from sports. There's so much happening. Those are the people. And then we see the Wizard of Oz himself, Golden Fine Klein, your host with the most for night 5. There he is on the screen, live and in color. Golden Fine Klein finally appears. Let's move on, fans, because I have to move on. There's a lot of twists and turns. I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly, and hopefully I can make it through. Listen, it hasn't even been a full 72 hours since I was drugged, and I'm down here to show you people what you would get if I was the host of the Green Room. Again, Avi Klein, Golden Fine Klein. Here we go. Matchup 1. I've said it on all the other preview and review shows. He opens up right out of the box, hot and heavy with big surprises and star power. He brings in one of the original 4 from the Green Room, and that's one Howard Collado. Say what you want about Howard Collado. A lot of people down him. Avi is constantly bashing him. He's been assaulted. He's lost his old lady. He's been mentally, physically, spiritually manipulated by Avi Klein. David Holliday has turned on him. Mickey Doyle has turned on him. And let's face it, Avi already screwed Howard Collado once. I'm cramping up, so bear with me. So I like Howard Collado. I tried to help you at one time, Howard. I really did. And you know that. I think you're an entertaining musician, actor. Everything you touch has a chance to turn to gold, Howard Collado. You're one of the original 4. Your words of encouragement have been a lot to me, Howard Collado. So don't think I discount you, and I know you got screwed before. So we bring in Howard, and during this, I just want to address this because it's not about me. I'm here to give everybody else the rub and put everybody else over. I'm here to cover this and be a professional. Again, Avi mentions me. GOC calls me a clown. He even calls Jamie Sparling a clown. So at 25 minutes in, Jamie Sparling, who's in the battle of his life with his old friend David Holliday, I hope you're listening, Jamie Sparling, because he called you a clown too. So if you think you have a fair shot and a fair chance in this tournament, you don't. Just like I don't. I've been drugged. I've been attacked. I've been embarrassed and humiliated. You see what's going on, and there's still a lot. But again, Avi Klein, I know you're watching. And I know no matter what you say, you're focused on all kinds of things going on in your life. I want you to forget about me. I want you to forget about who I am. I want you to keep saying, get out, clown. Get out, clown. Get out, clown. I want you to continue to do that, Avi, because you mentioned me at the most inopportune times when there's no need. My name doesn't even have to come up, but somehow it does in totally unrelated segments, Avi Klein. So I'll get out, clown. For now, I'll recover. I'll heal. I'll lick my wounds. But it may be get out, Klein, someday. Avi, golden fine. Let me get back to the task at hand. But I noticed that I was mentioned when I have nothing to do with it. So here we go. Jamie Sparling, remember that as well. Bear with me. In the montage, as I already said in the opening here of Howard Collado, Avi saying that Howard sucks, continues to take shots at Howard Collado, all kinds of calls him a chihuahua, maybe even an alien chihuahua. What does that mean, Howard? I want you to think about this, Howard, as you watch this review. Take the time out of your life to think about somebody else other than yourself and watch this review. That's right, an alien chihuahua. His journey will be sullied, is what he's saying about you, Howard. Get out. You're not wanted. Avi Klein even calls, yes, you, the fans, half-wits. Is anybody paying attention? Not only is this country not paying attention to what's going on with all the problems and everything that's happening, it's apparently that some of the competitors, and maybe even some of you, the viewers, who I love more than anybody, are not paying attention to what's going on in the green room. Well, I am, even drugged and sedated with my life on the line, because that's what I did my whole life. So Howard is the first on screen. We still don't know who the mystery opponent is. We still don't know who Howard's first round opponent is going to be. It's been 5 weeks. Out of nowhere comes mainstream media superstar, and I'll let you figure it out. Go back and watch the replay, because he's buff and he's the stuff. And when he's around, the ladies go crazy for the main man they call Buff Bagwell. Marcus Alexander Bagwell, member of NWO, multi-time champion. Listen, this guy's been in film, TV. Marcus Alexander Bagwell. And he still is ripped, jacked, shredded, kind of like shredded wheat. And let me throw it up for you fans. I don't want to embarrass myself, but Bagwell's incredible shape, and if anyone is Mr. One Take, it's Marcus Alexander Bagwell, and I cannot believe that Avi pulled it out of the hat to have a guy with the history and the legacy of Marcus Alexander Bagwell. You get your name on a credit card or something like that, you're solid, you're gold. If Alexa knows who you are, come on, does that mean you made it? So, unbelievable. He introduces Bagwell. And, of course, Bagwell demonstrates, of all things, and that's why I alluded to it, he demonstrates on his Alexa. Alexa, who is Marcus Bagwell? And unbelievable, Alexa runs down his bio, It was perfect timing. It was class personified. It was star power personified by Marcus Alexander Bagwell. I can't believe it. WCW, WWF, all over the world. Pro wrestling legend, TV legend, film, commercials. Bagwell. And the whole Alexa thing was perfect. I don't know if he set that up or not, but it... Avi actually... Oh, I wanted to imitate him here. Avi actually got giddy over Bagwell and the whole Alexa thing. I'm okay. 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 I hope it's not too graphic. Stay with me. We're 30 minutes in. We got a long way to go. We're just starting here. So it was unbelievable. Avi giddy. Avi pulls out Howard's photo. So we know now that this is a 2 out of 3. So that means Bagwell will be back. Unbelievable. So Howard, you're in for a matchup against yourself. Not only is Avi against you, now you're against Bagwell, who, let's face it, Avi said he's never enamored by people. He's not into idol worship. Yeah, that's what he's talking as a shoot. I have to have this. I'm sorry if it's interrupting or not professional. That's when Avi's in a shoot, and I believe that. But when it comes to this, talk about idol worship on the green room. Yeah, I don't know, Avi. I got a question there. You get so giddy. You've done it with people in the past before, too. Kind of kissing up to Bagwell. And really against Howard, I'm just telling it like it is. I'm giving you the good, the bad, and the ugly here. So, unbelievable. So we know it's 2 out of 3. The first challenge is a debate. Howard is up first. And I'm going to try to run through this fast so I don't have to make it in 2 and I can get through this. I got to go to the latrine. What is that? Heartburn, headache, nausea, diarrhea. Heartburn, headache. Is that the commercial? I don't know. I thought it was a catchy tune for the commercial. And that's what I need right now. But here's the first challenge, a debate. And Howard, he has to convince the fans and convince the judges that David Letterman was better than Jay Leno. Now, let me tell you something. I am Mr. Late Night. I love the late night hosts and the shows from back in the day. And Howard really put out a nice, incredible speech about convincing the fans about Letterman. And I'm not going to give you who I like because I'm trying to be impartial here, but I know where I would have went and how I would have sold it. So that's what Howard's debate was. In turn, Buff, and he's the stuff, and the ladies go crazy because he's just too much. Buff has to convince us and the fans and the judges that Jay Leno was the better late night host than Letterman, or more famous, or has more star power, however you want to say it. And Buff laid it out there about mainstream and millennials and the target audience and demos and who, if they walked into a regular place or a regular store, would be more noticeable and recognizable. And he said Jay Leno. So I can agree with that point on Buff Bagwell. Absolutely. Jay Leno's going to be recognized because Letterman's been out of the mainstream and he looks like a grizzly bear. But me personally, David Letterman all the way, and Jay Leno couldn't carry Letterman's jockstrap. Letterman was an icon and a legend and was the first one to really take over for Johnny Carson. He really was. Letterman in the 80s into the 90s couldn't be beat, especially on location when he went into Vegas and places like that. Go back and check out the history of Letterman, especially the 80s into the early 90s. And unbelievable. I'm a huge Letterman mark, and I'll say it. But 2 great arguments. Let's roll on here. The next challenge, the next debate goes to Howard. And Howard has to say why Baywatch was the greatest TV series. He's got to convince everyone. So Howard comes up with all different kinds of things. But you know what he goes to as his first thing when he thought of Baywatch? Now, I don't know about you fans. When I say the word Baywatch, or the TV series Baywatch, or the movie Baywatch, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Let's play a game here. First thing that comes to mind, Pamela Anderson. The video with Tommy Lee, or just her running across the beach. First it was Bo Derek and 10, and now it's Pamela Anderson. Even when they had on there the other blondes and the other, you weren't watching it for anything more than women running across the beach. Pamela Anderson. Howard comes up with David Hasselhoff. Really, Howard? I have to question you on that one, too. I know he was a mainstay on the show, and he had star power, and he was a Knight Rider with Kit. David Hasselhoff over Pamela Anderson, which is the first thing that Bagwell said. He just had to rebuke it and rebut it because it was so obvious, and everyone in the chat room said it too. Pamela Anderson. Can I just say any more? Let me give you the visual. Let's keep it a clean show. So, Howard, although, Baywatch was a great series, come on. David Hasselhoff. So Buff pointed that out to everyone. It's the obvious. Go back to the Tommy Lee video, and let's take Baywatch out of it, and that's why he would watch Baywatch. I don't want to say any more. I happen to be backstage for Guns N' Roses and meet the whole band at one time, but it's not about I. Oh, what a night that was. I think I was with one of the Baywatch girls' cousins. I don't know what happened. I don't want to. It's a person. Somebody maybe. I don't know who's watching. I don't know who's watching. In turn, Buff had to say in his debate or try to convince us on why Married with Children would be the better or greater TV series. And the first thing Buff said, because Buff is the stuff. His legendary reputation, with women and the way he looks, and I don't know, maybe the Longini. I mean, I don't know. I'm not talking about the Longini. You throw it on a grill, a sausage, a brat. Anyway, let me get off. I'm still on medication. Anyway, he has to say Married with Children, and Married with Children, listen, the first thing you think about is Kelly Bundy, Christina Applegate, and then, of course, you want to go with Katie Seagal, Bud Bundy, Peg, and, of course, the legendary Al Bundy, but you don't think of that right off the rip, so he broke it down with Married with Children. We go on to the next debate. I don't know where Avi comes up with this stuff, but Howard has to say, why is Big Ziti the greatest Italian dish, and he has to convince us of it. Now, Avi continues to mock Howard. He continues to mock Howard. I hope you guys are paying attention to this, and he's supposed to be unbiased and stuff like that, and I've been talking about this and bringing this to folks' attention. Are you paying attention? So why Big Ziti, which I love Big Ziti. So Howard broke it down. I mean, I don't know Howard's background and what kind of food he likes or has experienced, and I don't know if I can relate to him on Big Ziti. But he laid it out there the best he could. And then Buff had to say in turn, I'm sorry for the drooling, on why lasagna, as useless as the G in lasagna at this point, as I always say, why lasagna is the greatest Italian dish. I don't know, but did Buff say ziti or did he say lasagna? That might have been because I don't know what was going on at that time. As I look back at it now, I'm a little unclear if Buff actually said it was ziti or lasagna, so I don't know what happened there. But that was the question. Now we go to the votes. Avi, obviously, and I say it on every show, obviously, votes for Buff. Pete from Sharpie comes in, and let's face it, the charisma, the machismo, the star power, Marcus Alexander Bagwell, Buff, and he's the stuff was right on point. Pete votes for Buff. Now he's up 1-0 thus far in this matchup. Let's go to the second challenge because you knew it didn't even have to go to the fans. Buff Bagwell is star power personified from his industry. Let's just call it like it is. The second challenge, and I noticed that Avi is intrigued by the word wow. He mentioned it a couple times throughout the broadcast. Yeah, Avi, wow spelled backwards is wow. Wow. I've been using that for 30 years. I love you, Avi, but I'm giving you the good, the bad, and the ugly. You want me to be honest. You're honest with me, right? So anyway, wow spelled backwards is wow. We know that now, Avi. So the second challenge is promo. Howard has to come up with, it's kind of like Avi presented a who, what, where, why, when scenario, which is a nice way to break down things. So he covers all the bases. So Howard has to give the promo. He's at the Izod Center in New Jersey. It's June 28th, 2021. It's an Iron Man match against Drago. Unbelievable how Avi comes up with this and the creativity that he has. That's why he's been in this industry for so long. Howard actually hits it and nails it. I thought the promo was fantastic. I really did. I thought all the efforts were really fantastic throughout the night, but that's neither here nor there. So he did hit it. Howard, June 25th, June 28th, look, bear with me, June 28th at the Izod Center in New Jersey, an Iron Man match. Drago, it's you and I. Don't you dare miss it. I can't give you anything more than that. A little lightheaded, the room spinning. Listen, I don't know. So Buff Bagwell, the same who, what, why, where, when, is from the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia on June 23rd in an I Quit match against Kermit the Frog. And Buff, as he said 100 times throughout the night, he is the stuff. He is the one-take guy. So I will say his promo, listen, State Farm Arena, June 23rd, Atlanta, Georgia, I Quit match. Kermit the Frog, Kermit the Frog. Ribbit. Oh. Kermit the Frog. So Buff definitely, listen, how could you go wrong with Buff Bagwell doing it? It was an unbelievable promo. Avi is bravo, clapping, bravo. Avi again, giddy, bravo. The performance of a lifetime for Buff Bagwell. I mean, that's easy to see. I'm trying to be laid back. Bear with me here, fans. I told you this could take a while. We're not even 45 minutes in yet, and I still have 10 pages to go. So stay with me here, please. I put in a lot of work for this, for you, the fans, to watch this product and to go back and see the stars and what you're missing, and to break this down in layman's terms of what you missed and what you will see on the green room. So I appreciate it, and I hope you appreciate me. Leave a comment, share, post this, do whatever you want with it. Wipe your ass with it. I don't care what you do with it, but watch. So unbelievable promos. Buff Bagwell. Here we go. The next promo for Howard is he's at the TD Garden in Boston on June 21st in a lumberjack match against Count Chocula. I want to suck your blood. I want to suck your neck. How about that? TD Garden in Boston. Lumberjack match against Count Chocula. Howard, for being no wrestler and not being a guy that's in the business, is a performer. So he knocked it out of the box. In turn, Buff Bagwell, the superstar from the NWA, WCW, WWE, all over the world, is at the Staples Center in Los Angeles on June 22nd in a steel cage match against Crocodile Dundee. That's a sight to behold in itself. I don't have to say anything more about that. We roll on as the tournament rolls on here down from the bunker. Howard Collado versus Buff Bagwell. We go to the votes. Pete comes in. Avi comes in. We know where this is going. Bang, bang. Marcus Alexander Bagwell, Buff Bagwell, Mr. Buff, Mr. Stuff, whatever you want to call him, Nick the Dick. I don't know what you call him from the movie with Tom Hanks, Bachelor Party. I don't know what you call him. And then Avi lets the fans vote just to see. And overwhelmingly, they vote for Marcus Alexander Bagwell. He sweeps the match up 2-0. Buff is up 1-0. The good news for you, Mr. Collado, is it's a best of 3. So, my friend, you had 5 weeks to be in a cage and come out. And yeah, there was twists and turns. And you went up against a true star. Hey, Alexa proved it and verified it. But you're down 1-0, so Marcus Alexander Bagwell is up. Buff, and he's the stuff, is up 1-0. Unbelievable. We go on to the second matchup of the night, and again, this one has been bitter. I can't say it enough. These two ladies have been talked about. One has been around for a long time on the green room. They're both near originals. Miranda versus Maria in a bitter, I say it all the time, it reminds me of Francine and Beulah from the old ECW days, to relate it to people out there. These ladies have been unbelievable with the accusations, the rumors, the speculation, the innuendo between the two of them. And that would be from the Serene Room, Miranda against the Queen of Mean, and that would be Maria. Now, listen, Miranda is up 1-0. Let's not forget about that. So this is where we're at this point. We open up hot and heavy again. You go from the star power into this legendary cat fight. And listen, I don't care if you like that term or not. I'm just using it as a phrase in this business. The video montages, again, that are put together by Avi are so creative. It's unbelievable. They should be short film classics, and they should be up for awards. I'll say that to say this. So here we go. Both ladies come into screen. There's a lot of things that are going on. You could see right from the rip, especially in my profession and what I know, you could tell already that Miranda is visibly upset. There's something going on. I don't know what the deal is if these two ladies come in. I know people. Jay Brony can be hired. I may even be able to talk about, but I got enough problems with Pinocchio Joe right now and recovering from this near drugging and overdose that happened to me, that somebody slipped me a Mickey. Slipped me a Mickey Doyle. Freudian slip right there. So you could see that Miranda is visibly upset. Something happened to her boyfriend. I don't know anything about anybody's personal life on here. I go by what they tell me, by what they expose on social media, and I don't get involved. But apparently her boyfriend, Johnny, is missing. Either he ran off, he's been kidnapped, he found another Brazil, something on his side. I don't know. He couldn't be counseled. I don't know what happened. He may have been kidnapped for all we know. But you could see that has affected Miranda. I don't even know why she agreed to be on the green room on Saturday night for night 5. If that was somebody that I was a part of my family, or a loved one, or a new amour, or a new beau, or whatever it is in your case, I would be out looking for that person. I wouldn't be sitting in the green room no matter how important it is. That's just my viewpoint and my background and where I come from. Mistake number 1, Miranda. And I voted for you in Maxim. You know that. So I'm a little disappointed about that. You took for granted. You were already up 1-0. You could have easily left and been disqualified, and it'll still be 1-1 and come back to fight another day. But you didn't do that. So your emotions got the best of you. Remember that. And that's advice coming from someone who tells it like it is. So here we go, distracted. Maria is her usual cocky, confident self, and she has reason to be, because she is successful. It's out there. It's public knowledge. And no one has challenged her yet. So yeah, she talks a lot of trash. But who else has stepped up to the plate? She's embroiled with this. So we don't know what she's truly made of when she moves on. If she moves down, because her back is against the wall. This is an elimination matchup. You know that, right, Maria? No me joda. Muévete culo. That's what my boys say, el gallo tres huevos. You know that, right? I have a lot of friends out there, so I'll break it down. Google it. So this is what we go to. A lot of things going on. Maria is now in the challenge. The first for the trivia. Repeatedly, Avi alludes to Maria's past. It's almost like he's sucking up to her. Again, Miranda, just what I notice about it, looks very upset. And Avi looks like maybe he's a little intimidated or scared of Maria. I'm not sure. Maria has to do mob trivia. I don't know if this is a setup, if this is a subliminal message. I don't know what's going on with Avi Klein and where he's thinking with some of these competitors. But Maria gets mob trivia. First question is about Robert De Niro. Maria didn't get it right. Second question was about the movie Bugsy. Maria didn't get it right. The third question was about something to the Godfather series. Maria didn't get it right. So right then and there, I started questioning everything Maria has ever said, her promos, where she gets her information, who she relies on. I started questioning that. She got everything wrong on something that she's supposed to know, and that even Avi alludes that maybe he said it Freudianly, I don't know, that Maria's a criminal. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Those are the things that I noticed. So she gets all those questions wrong. We turn over to Miranda. I hope I'm getting the names right here because I'm still, listen, I'm hydrating. We go over to Miranda. Here's the challenge. Miranda. Again, she looks upset. She has to do a commentary on chronic abuse versus a physical disorder. Chronic disorder and a physical disorder. That's what the question and the topic was. Again, I can't get over how much she was disheveled and didn't look right. And her screen was even a little off. I don't know what she was doing. Anyway, she's trying to focus. Chronic versus physical disorder. Bang, she gets it right. Smart lady. Second question. Commonly abused substance. She got that one wrong. Third question. How many classifications of Wait, hold on. Let me see here. Schizophrenia from a psychotherapist. How many classifications of schizophrenia? Bang. Miranda, as a counselor, got it right. So she's 2 out of 3 right out of the box after Maria got all 3 wrong. So give Miranda credit. She is now up 1-0. Not only 1-0 in the series, but 1-0 in the first challenge here. Again, Avi, I'll give him credit for this, and I'll say that to say this. He keeps asking if she's okay. He's constantly checking in on her, asking if she's okay and if she wants to stop. She chooses to go on. I haven't gotten one message from Avi Klein asking if I'm okay. Asking me if I recovered. I haven't got one message from Golden Fine Klein, but he's checking out Miranda. I get it. So she's up 1-0 here. We go to the second challenge. It's a Q&A, and again, I question these questions. Again, see what I did there? I question these questions because they seem to be a lot from Taekwon and Lucinda. Now, I'm not sure why, but they seem to get their questions into Avi Klein and the WWAB network for the Green Room. I don't know if they have a direct pipeline. I don't know if they have to have the bat number. I don't know what they have. The first question, and I'm going to try to get these right. Let's see if I can get this accurate. Ruthless and cold, okay? We know that she's ruthless and cold. Is there a tender side? That's the question. Taekwon says, Maria, you appear to be so ruthless and cold. Is there a tender side? And she goes on to describe that she has a tender side. It's just business. In the meantime, Abby keeps asking if Miranda's okay. Do it for Johnny. Do it for Johnny, Miranda. Miranda, do it for Johnny. Javi's manipulating. That's just my opinion. Do it for Johnny, Miranda. Clear distraction. You could see that the edge, as I adjust, was to Maria as I fight through my own battles here. In turn, Miranda gets a question from Lucinda. Your boyfriend has been taken captive, apparently. We don't know. Coming on to this segment when they came in, it was alluded to that he's missing, that he ran off, that he may be held captive. We don't know if Maria had something to do with it. I can't get my blood pressure or anything up right now. They're standing right over here. Okay, I have to get through this. Why haven't you done anything was the question. I don't know how somebody could ask this, but I could see how they would ask this. Your spouse, your beau, your whatever it is, your loved one is no longer around, is missing. And yes, you have good people out there, but we have to question Miranda. Why aren't you out there? So she answers that question, very emotional, very distraught. It was a tough segment to get through. We continue on. The second question from Maria. Talking about Sammy Doyle's taking of her daughter, what happened? If you remember back on the Green Room in previous episodes, Maria had issues with the Doyles and with Sammy Doyle in particular, and was accused of taking Sammy Doyle's daughter. What happened to that was the question. Question right on the spot, live on Saturday night for the Green Room. Maria pled the fifth and said no comment. No comment by Maria. That says a lot. It says a lot in what she says and what she doesn't says when it comes to Maria. Miranda is the next question from a fan who are very on top of it. They're in touch. They have the pulse on the Green Room. Can you tell us about Johnny? One of the fans is asking, can you tell us about Johnny? Again, Avi appears to be very biased. He seems to be almost scared of Maria. And then Miranda comes in and she starts crying again, alludes to Maria maybe taking Johnny captive. Again, allegations, speculation, rumor, innuendo. I don't know what to make of it here in the green room. This is what you get. So she really breaks down, and I guess apparently he's a smart guy. He wouldn't just maybe run off. He's apparently maybe a doctor or something like that, or he's something. I don't know. That's just what Miranda was relating to the fans. Very upset about this. Maria, on to the next question. Why did you get into crime and what went wrong? Now, this is coming from the fans. I don't know why Avi would put these questions on there. This isn't 48 Hours. This isn't CSI, but they're being grilled. I mean, time to turn the burger over. Let's put the chicken in tinfoil, the shrimp on the Barbie, something. But a lot of tough, serious questions. There's no softballs in this matchup between Miranda and Maria. And insinuating she's of the criminal element. I mean, I don't know. And again, a short answer, and it's what she doesn't say when it comes to Maria. She says she's not in crime. There's no two ways about it. The next question, we move on. It's asked of Miranda, what's more important, the green room or Johnny? And that's a silly question because I think Miranda already asked it. She said the green room, and that's why she was there, because she trusted the people that were out there looking for Johnny. She said she had family in law enforcement, and she knew a lot of people. I don't know what to say about that. Avi's trying to keep her calm, trying to tell her, calm down. Things are going to be okay. I mean, he continues to do this. I don't know if it's subliminal, if he's working her, if he's genuine. I don't know what's happening at this point. But Johnny is missing. Miranda is distraught. We bring in Pete. Pete votes for Maria. Avi votes for Miranda just to make it even. Sometimes he does that. I don't know why. Still very distraught. The fans vote. The votes come flooding in because, listen, they're both easy on the eyes. They're both smart ladies. They're both attractive physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. So I can get why the fans are there, and I can get why the fans are out in droves and voting for these ladies. I understand. And again, Avi with always taking, you say up, he says down, you say right, he says left, you say white, he says black, it's almost like a fat kid going up, down quicker and then faster than on a seesaw. I mean, Avi's always... Elizabeth, hold on. The fans vote. And again, the fans vote Miranda. Miranda's up 2-0 in the challenges. 2-0 tonight. And it's unbelievable what's happened. The fans, this is what you get in the green room. You get to vote. Avi again starts to demean Miranda. He keeps asking if she's okay, but it's almost like in a mocking mode. It's almost too much what he's doing. He's going overboard. We have the third challenge, and it's up to a debate. And again, this is going on because it's a grudge match. It seemed to go on and on and on in this segment. And again, who knows how genuine Avi is. The third challenge is a debate. Maria, why are men in the tournament overlooking you? And I say, whether it's myself or anybody else in the tournament, nobody's overlooking this lady. She hasn't proven or done anything to me. She's just mysterious and whatever. So she goes on to say that don't overestimate her, don't undervalue it. Everybody's scared of her. No one's afraid. Maybe Avi Klein's afraid of you, Maria, the queen of mean, all bark and no bite, and we're going to find out. And we're going to find out. We're definitely going to find out. In turn, Miranda, why is Maria underestimating you? First it was Maria, why are the men underestimating you? I don't know who's underestimating her. She has a fan following. Everybody's kissing her ass, including Rock Richards, you blockhead. That's right, I called you a blockhead. You're still back here, Rock Richards. You're still back there. So Miranda explains to Maria, don't underestimate her. Don't. She's already up 1-0. She's up 2-0 tonight in that night 5 matchup. So you can't underestimate Miranda. She was on the Serene Room. She's a part of this. At one point, Maria freaks out near the end of this matchup and doesn't even finish it, and she runs off screen like a freak, like a maniac, like a jackrabbit on a hot day. Miranda runs off screen. Not to be seen from exit stage left. That's what happened. I have to hydrate. Stand by. That's what happened. She's out looking for Johnny. Johnny, I hope you're okay. You should have called the GOC or Jay Brony or somebody. Anybody that could have helped you. You know the background, but you didn't do it. I was in the Serene room once before, and you tried to make a mockery of me. Now you reap what you sow. Johnny. So Pete comes in. They have no other choice. Avi awards the decision to Maria. It's a disqualification, a count out, whatever you want to call about it. Pete agrees. And now it's 1-1. Maria and Miranda are tied at 1-1. And who knows where the hell Miranda ran to? Who knows where Johnny is? Let's forge on here on the Night 5 review. I'm making it through. Let's forge on here. We go on to R.G. James. That's right, right guard James and Jessica. They're tied at 1-1. So another elimination match on Night 5. It doesn't get any bigger than this. We're throwing out the matchups. We're rolling them out. Right guard James, the former national sponsor, maybe current national sponsor. Hey, listen, who knows? He surprised everyone as when he wanted to be a competitor when he was tossed out on his ass against Jessica. And let me tell you something, the podcast queen, she's also another lady in this tournament that's not to be trifled with, but also easy on the eyes, mentally, physically, or spiritually, and the whole 9 yards, as I said before. No one to be trifled with. This is an elimination matchup. Pete from Sharpie will be involved in a lot of the scenes. That's why I give Pete credit. He has come back, and even though he got disposed in the tournament, he has come back and done very well for himself as someone who's a part of this and getting into character himself. You might have a future, Pete. I'm just saying. So we go on to this elimination matchup. Don't forget that. First challenge is improv. Jessica has to convince Pete. She's a speed-talking librarian who's trying to convince Pete to rent the movie The Great Gatsby. She did an unbelievable job. She's a talented lady. I'll say that. In turn, James has to play a shark hunter, instructing a first mate on how to battle a shark, but he keeps falling asleep. Well, that wasn't a reach for James, because James was asleep at the wheel 20 years ago with Avi when he tried to be his first investor in the movie industry. He was asleep at the wheel 2 or 3 years ago in Las Vegas with Pete at the convention. And now he's asleep at the wheel against Jessica and in this promo in the Green Room tournament. James, for such an influential businessman who has power, boy, you're asleep a lot, my friend. How apropos is that? I have to take a break soon. So that was him. Keep falling asleep. They did a good job. I'll give them credit. Let's go on to the second challenge. Jessica plays a film critic recording herself reviewing Rocky, but 15 seconds in, she sees a rat and is frightened but still continues, and Pete's in the same room. That's the scene. Jessica did okay. I'll give her a lot of credit. This lady is multi-talented. I'm going to say that to say this. In turn, James has to be a loud talker, which I've been accused of many times. And Avi Klein, you are. A loud talker that's a checkout clerk at Huskies, of all places. Now, that gets a little risque, a little rated PG, rated R. As a former sponsor, I'm surprised James was on board. A little risque at Huskies, if you know what I mean, Magnum size, so on and so forth. And Pete is next in line as the customer. Let me just tell you something, James. You went a little risque there, my friend. We go on to the next challenge for Jessica. She's an angry motivational speaker, and Pete needs help. Quite the scene from Jessica. Again, I'm seeing a lot of different sides from Jessica and James from right guard, who stepped up to the competition. It's 1-1. Listen, this is an elimination matchup. James, in turn, has to be an emotional basketball player, and Pete is the coach. I'm not saying I took an Ambien during that segment or not, but I'm just saying what was laid out on the green room between right guard James and Jessica. R.G. James, so to speak. I'm forging through, fans. I'm getting through this. I'm getting through. So we continue. Avi, again, just like he berated Howard and he's berated other people and been in support of other people, whether he berates Jamie Sparling, myself, whatever that is that he does, Avi berates James again, his old buddy from college and from years ago. Let's go to the votes. Pete votes Jessica. Avi votes James. Woo, listen, I don't know why he voted James. Who knows? Just because I think he does it to play mind games with everybody. Avi is always playing mind games, especially with his college cohorts and people that he's known for all his life. I believe that, and I see that, and I think that's what's happening. So we go to the fans. It wasn't even close. Listen, she's easy on the eyes. She's talented. She's smart. Yeah, she's cocky. She's arrogant. She's brash. She's kind of a bitch at times. I'll say that to say this. Every vote that came in went for Jessica. Hands down. Let me hydrate. Let me hydrate. We're over an hour in. Stay with me to the end, please. We got big twists and turns coming up here. I'm sacrificing for you. So, of course, the fans come in and they vote Jessica. Now, Jessica's up 1-0 on night 5, okay? Now, here's the final challenge. Here's the caveat. Here's what pushes it over the edge. They've never had it before, according to Avi. It's never been on the green room. It's never been a challenge. A singing challenge. Jessica's up 1-0. This is an elimination matchup. So she's up 1-0 tonight. Here we go with the singing challenge. James gets to do the theme from Gilligan's Island. Now, I'm going to give you a quick rendition. I don't know what James was doing. He tried. I don't know if I can do any better, especially in my physical state. But James and the singing challenge had to sing the theme of Gilligan's Island. A 3-hour tour. The Professor and Mary Ann here on Gilligan's Isle. He did better than I did. He actually, I don't know if he had something on his side, if he remembered it. He looked nervous, apprehensive. You know, the boat started getting rough. The tiny ship was lost. The millionaire, Mary Ann, the Professor. I'm not here to give you my rendition. If I get put on the spot, we'll see what happens. But I know the show. Mary Ann or the movie star. You make the call. But anyway, James did okay. And again, Jessica's singing challenge was the facts of life, or as we used to call it back in the day amongst the boys, the facts of life. You know, Tootie and all that. The facts of life, the facts of life. I'm more of a car karaoke guy. But that was Jessica's challenge, the facts of life. And let me tell you, let me sit back and relax. Jessica, and I'm going to say this from the bottom of my heart, she looked a little nervous. She was kind of unsure. I guess she only sings in the shower. But man, pwah, over the fence. Jessica did a rendition, and who knew, of Facts of Life that was spot on. Even as nervous as she was, I'll give her a lot of credit. Knocked it out of the box. So here wow, is all I'm going to say to use Avi's turn. And we know wow spelled backwards is what, Golden Fine Klein? Wow. Avi says he can't stand both of these competitors. So he's very, very unbiased or biased or whatever the term you want to use in this term. I wouldn't say either or. He doesn't care about anybody at this point in this matchup. Pete votes Jessica. Avi votes Jessica. You saw this coming. The fans once again voted Jessica. Boom, that's it. She wins. She sweeps. Boom, that's it. Night 5, elimination matchup. James from right guard, you're out. You're gone. Banut. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. Hey, hey, hey. Goodbye. To quote Pete from Sharpie saying that, James is eliminated. Jessica moves on to round 2. I don't know where James is. Rumor has it he's on a flight to the islands. The Caribbean. Potato, tomato, tomato. He's out. He vows to be back at some point. But for now, James, I'm leaving on a jet plane, going to the islands because I'm a big crybaby and got eliminated. I don't care if that rhymes. I don't care. So Jessica moves on to round 2. We go on to what a lot of people were waiting for, and it's been a long 5 weeks. The debut of the Lone Star Twister. A storm's a brewing in the green room, and that would be one Mindy McKinney Red. We don't know who the opponent was going to be, even right up to the montage of her debut on night 5. Listen, she's very popular with the fans. She's very popular with the viewers. She's another one who's very easy on the eyes and a smart lady with strength and determination like nobody's business. And yeah, she's sassy. Yeah, maybe she's a little bit of a bitch like the rest of them too, and I'll say that to say this. On her debut, in a montage, again, one of the most popular in the green room and across the network. Mindy McKinney Red makes her debut. And who do we bring in? Because we haven't heard from this person in a long time. We still don't know who he is. The Music Man. That's right, the sick, demented, twisted bastard, the Music Man. A guy who's over the top, who no one knows, who's been at war with Howard Collado, DJ Hooja, Odalak Hauser, so on and so forth. And now, this is Mindy McKinney Red's opponent? A guy we know nothing about? So Avi goes to the photo to see if this is going to make a 2 out of 3 or a single elimination, because this is the Lone Star Storm's debut. The Yellow Rose of Texas, as I like to call Mindy McKinney Red. Her debut in the green room. He pulls out a photo, and it's a photo of the Music Man, so we know this is 2 out of 3. So we know that that creep, that scumbag, that pervert, whatever you want to call him, is going to be around unless somebody takes him out or he takes himself out. And with that being said, Mindy is also around. So 2 out of 3. Let's go to the videotape, as Warner Wolf would say. For a second there of things that I noticed, and I think Avi picked up on it. Once the Music Man made his entrance... Speaking of Music Man... Speaking of... which is brewing... foils and curses. Sorry, excuse me, I'm back. I don't know what this is effect from the Music Man, the drugging, the roofie. I don't know. Pinocchio Joe, I don't know. But Mindy seems to transform once the Music Man came on. Like she was in some sort of trance, or maybe like what happened to myself and Pinocchio Joe. I'm not quite sure. The first challenge, ironically, is Texas trivia that Avi Klein comes up with. So the first question to Mindy is something about where was Dr. Pepper invented? And like a robot, and like I said, something changed, something clicked, the light switch went on or off, whatever you want to say. Mindy says, I support the Music Man. It got really weird really fast. We go on to the second question. Avi asks, how many countries claimed Texas before? You figured Mindy would know all these questions since she is the Yellow Rose of Texas. Mindy says, Howard fears the Music Man. Just like that. It's not a work. It's not a work. Pete comes in and obviously befuddled by this. Pete says, continue. Avi says to Mindy, snap out of it. Snap out of it. I mean, if you were there, you would have paintbrushed her. Throw some cold water on her. Snap out of it, Mindy, is Avi is what's saying. Pete says, continue. Taskmaster, move on. It doesn't matter. Just like me tonight, move on. The show must go on. We forged through. Again, I don't know what happened to this lady. It very strange. We go to the third question from Avi Klein. What is the official state bird of Texas? Again, Mindy. Music Man will win the tournament. Again, befuddling. Avi's asking and saying, snap out of it. We don't know what's going on. Again, Mindy McKinney Red making your debut and walking into something like this. We go on to the fourth question. How many European countries are bigger than Texas? Mindy freaks out, grabs her head, says, get out, get out, get out. No. She says, get out, Mindy, and she runs off stage and runs off screen. It's like she snapped out of it, grabbing her head. She was a freak. She ran out. I'd never seen anything like it. The bottom line, Pete and Avi concurred. Something about the Music Man says, calls out to Mindy, comply, comply, comply. No one knows where Mindy is. I don't know what happened. The bottom line is Avi and Pete declared the Music Man is up 1-0 in this best of 3. So we got to see this scumbag freakazoid again. Whoever said the freaks come out at night obviously don't go to Walmart during the day. We move on. We forge on. Mindy, I hope you're okay. Mindy McKinney read, you chose maybe bit off more than you can chew coming into the green room. I don't know. I hope you're okay. You have a big family. We forge on here. Night 5, round 1 of the 64-person single elimination bracket-style tournament presented by Avi Klein on the WWAB Podcast Network, coming to you live to tape 20 feet underneath the surface of the earth from the bunker with the guardian of chaos, your old buddy, Jay Brony. Get over here and give me some water. Jay, where are you? We move on. We're not going to cover my matchup until the end, if we cover it at all. You know I was poisoned. You know we had a couple of challenges. You know I raised a toast to Pinocchio Joe. I respected him. I don't know what happened. But I know he drank his, I drank mine, I drank mine, I drank his, he drank his, he drank mine. And that's what happened. I know that's what happened. I'm still recovering. I'll be back, Pinocchio Joe. I'll be back. It's still tied 1-1. It's still tied 1-1, and by any means necessary. I'm not going to let this blow away. I'm not going to let this opportunity leave. It's within my grasp to move on to round 2. And I'm not going to let you anyhow, take it from me, and I will do whatever it takes. And that's all I'm going to say about night 5. It's still 1-1. And we dance again. Joe. Stand by. Stand by. Stand by. We're an hour and 15 minutes in. Bear with me, please. I hope you're all still here. We're an hour and 15 minutes in. We're almost done. We have Glacier Ray Lloyd from Breaking the Ice, The Nightmare Factory, The Replaceables movie, making his first appearance against a class guy. The Wrestler, 350 Days, filmmaker, producer, the book 100 Stories, Glacier Ray Lloyd against Evan Ginsberg. That's what we're going to cover now. It doesn't get any bigger and better than this. Talk about star power. The video montage says it all. Unbelievable. Glacier Ray Lloyd recovering from hip surgery. Glad to see you back, Ray. Can't wait to see Breaking the Ice and listen to it again. One of my favorite shows on the network. And I'm not blowing smoke. And Evan Ginsberg, the compliment that you paid me, I can go to bed at night and put my head on the pillow and rest easy. From the bottom of my heart, Mr. Evan Ginsberg, thank you for your kind words on my performance, myself as a character, and being in this industry. I'm humbled and honored, and I virtually bow before you, Mr. Ginsberg. Thank you. Let's move on for that. It's not about me. I have to gain my composure. Glacier versus Evan Ginsberg. We know the history. I just ran it down. The first challenge, a trivia challenge. Evan's trivia challenge category is 70s films. Here we go. Out of the box, Glacier Ray Lloyd, Evan Ginsberg, night 5, round 1, Avi Klein's Green Room Tournament. Two of the most influential men in this tournament. I'm struggling and moving forward. Somebody give me a prefabricated dog biscuit. Here we go. 70s films, Evan Ginsberg, The Wrestler, 350 Days. Enough said. Here we go. Who played Bob Woodward in All the President's Men? Where does Avi Klein come up with this material and these questions? I'll never know. I certainly didn't know this. Evan Ginsberg gets that question wrong. Who would possibly get it right? The second question was about the Carrie movie and what kind of animal's blood was used that they dumped on her. I don't know who would know that, but I think I got this right. Evan Ginsberg got it wrong. Shocked, stunned. The next question was about Heaven Can Wait and Warren Beatty. Evan Ginsberg got it right. So he's on the right track. He's a brilliant man. You knew he'd get on the right track. The fourth question was a question about Omen and where the 666 came from. Bang. Evan Ginsberg got that right, so now he's on a streak of 2 in a row. The next question was about the James Bond films, and of course, Evan Ginsberg got it right. So that's 3 in a row, 3 quick points. Bang, bang, bang. Bear with me. I'm suffering through this, guys, to get through this, to get you this report. I have to give my word. We go on to Glacier Ray Lloyd, and his category from Avi Klein is 70s music. Here we go for Glacier. And man, did it get cold in the green room. The first question was about Disco Diva and something to the effect of, who was the first disco diva that wrote the song Turn the Beat Around? Turn the beat around. Love to hear the caution. Turn it upside down. Love to hear percussion. Now, a couple different people saying that. That was my rendition, but whoever it was, I think it was Andrea Sue Robinson. Glacier got it wrong. The second question, what group sang the song You're a Native New Yorker? But I used to... You're a native New Yorker. Back when New York was actually New York City. Unbelievable. So, of course, Glacier Ray Lloyd got it right. I believe it was the band Odyssey, if I'm not mistaken. The third question, name the supergroup with which Duane Allman and Eric Clapton played together. And of course, Glacier Ray Lloyd, one of the most cerebral, smartest men I know, he gets the question right because I didn't know it either. But he got it right. Fourth question, name of the band that Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley played in before Kiss. Now, I'm not a Kiss buff, although I've seen them in concert back in the early 90s at Madison Square Garden, the mecca of all places to perform. Glacier Ray Lloyd got it right. So they're tied at 3 points apiece. Both men came back strong in this challenge. Number 5. Who wrote the Manfred Mann's Earth Band song, Blinded by the Light? Wrapped up like a deucer in a rumor in the night, blinded by the light. Well, I guess it was Bruce Springsteen, because I would have got this wrong too. But Glacier got that wrong. That was a tough one, Blinded by the... What a legendary song, though. So we're tied 3-3 now. As I said, it's 3-3 between Evan Ginsberg and Glacier Ray Lloyd. The next series of challenges are promos. Bear with me. Stay with me. I told you it was going to be a long show. If I could forge through this, you can stay there. This is entertainment personified. This is what you would get if I was the host of the Green Room. This is what you would get. Forge through the next challenge, promos. Evan Ginsberg, it's a who, what, where, why, when type of thing from Avi Klein. Again, he's a genius. Now I know why the insignia of the medulla oblongata is next to his name all the time. Bear with me, fans. Let me hydrate here. Don't listen. The most important part of the show is on right now. Evan Ginsberg, Glacier Ray Lloyd. We still have to cover the grudge match of Duke the Dumpster Droese and Rich Masadi. Bear with me, please. I'm going to get through this. This is not stick. This is real. I'm under the weather. I'm not feeling good. I'm recovering from different things right now. So I hope you fans appreciate it, because this is what I do. This is my passion. So we go on to promos. It's a who, what, why, where, and when again. I know I'm looking a little pale, a little frail, but I'm coming back. So here's Evan Ginsberg. It's against Garfield the Cat at Madison Square Garden on June 17th in a best 2 out of 3 falls. Unbelievable scenario. In turn, Ray Lloyd is against Daffy Duck at the Pepsi Center in Denver on June 10th in a loser leaves town match. The next challenge for Evan Ginsberg is against Homer Simpson in the city of Springfield on June 25th in a strap match. In turn, Glacier Ray Lloyd is against Darth Vader on Planet Pluto on June 22nd in a submission match. Unbelievable promos. I don't know where he came up with this, but that's the story, and I'm sticking to it. We go to the votes. First off, Avi wants to know if this is a 2 out of 3. This is where he spins the wheel, make the deal, and he makes you wait because we don't know if there's a 2 out of 3. You notice I didn't mention it at the beginning because Avi didn't pull a photo because he's always playing mind games with everybody in the green room. So Avi pulls out a photo, and it's of Face Value's Bill DeMott. So you know what that means. Not only was it a big photo of Bill DeMott, it's in a single elimination. This is no 2 out of 3. You win and you're in, you lose, you pack your bags, you're on the next train, and you're going home. Unbelievable. So we go to the votes. Pete votes for Glacier Ray Lloyd. Avi votes for Evan Ginsberg. In turn, we go to the fans, and this is what I say every week. The biggest part about this show is the 1.5 million viewers and you, the fans. The fans vote. And they vote for Glacier Ray Lloyd, who advances on to round 2. What a matchup. I cannot believe that Mr. Evan Ginsberg, not only was he in the green room, not only is a world traveler, a thespian, an award-winning guy, best-selling author, Evan Ginsberg gets knocked out in the first round by Glacier Ray Lloyd, much like a lot of the other famous people that have been eliminated, whether it be Diane Franklin, whether it be Paul Roma, whether it be Andrew Casase. A lot of different famous people have been eliminated from this tournament. And here we go. Evan Ginsberg, thank you for being here, but he packs his bags and he's going home. And Glacier Ray Lloyd, one of the smartest guys and one of the most generous, positive, upbeat men, moves on to round 2. Bear with me, fans, here. I'm feeling a little bit better. And again, you know, I have to do this just to gain my composure. We go, again, I've already alluded to different things that have happened here. Glacier Ray Lloyd, and they get into a little acceptance speech. Evan Ginsberg, of course, class personified. He thanks Glacier. He thanks Avi. He throws out some kind words for the Guardian of Chaos. And of course, what a class act. And he tells you about his 100 stories, 100 books coming up. And of course, we know of 350, the movie, and the list goes on and on. The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke. Fans, I can't say it enough. What a class guy. And he was so respectful and humble, even in defeat to Glacier Ray Lloyd, who comes on and is certainly a class act himself. We know he has Breaking the Ice, and then he talks about the movie The Replaceables and how it's an ensemble cast of former pro wrestlers, and it's a kind of a sci-fi and Magnificent Seven type movie. Fans, that right there is worth the price of admission alone. Go out to The Replaceables movie.com. That's The Replaceables movie.com, and it's going to be coming out soon. You'll get all the information on the green room, and of course Avi Klein's like, oh, hey, Glacier, can I be in a sequel? Am I going to get in a sequel somehow? Avi throwing in a little self-promotion right there. I guess I don't blame you, Golden Fine. He wants to be in a sequel. So unbelievable matchup. Evan Ginsberg is out. Glacier moves on to the second round. So before we move on here, let's look at who has moved on to the second round. I think I actually released so many bodily fluids and liquids. I'm starting to get a second wind here, so bear with me. Into the second round that we know of so far, I believe there's at least 10 competitors that have moved on to the second round before we get on to the main event of Night 5. And we know what it is. Duke the Dumpster Droese and Rich Masadi. So stand by for the coverage as I break down the final of Night 5 and the main event between Duke and Rich Masadi. Very emotional. I'm going to try to get through it. In the second round so far, I believe there's at least 10 competitors. Glacier Ray Lloyd, as we just covered. Award-winning actress Sally Kirkland. Award-winning actor John Amos. Steve Lee, a.k.a. Stephen Lee. The Blockhead Rock Richards. Todd Bridges, another award-winning man from TV and film. Michael Winslow of Police Academy fame. The Olympic strongman Ken Patera, I believe, has moved on to the second round. Also, in the elimination earlier tonight, Jessica has moved on, and James from Right Guard is out. And then I also believe Mark Henry is either in the second round or we're waiting for the huge announcement from Avi Klein when it comes to his opponent. Mark Henry, world's strongest man. That's right, Sirius XM, Busted Open Radio, the whole 9 yards, who just was breaking in AEW. Mark Henry has gone all elite, and he will be in the green room and on the WWAB network in the green room for Avi Klein. It doesn't get any bigger than that. And then we get on to the next person that is in the second round. And I started at that point to get a little sick. I started maybe thinking about Jim Beam and smelling that disgusting whiskey or the greasy fried chicken and feathers all over the place. I don't know what was happening, but you bring in my former nemesis, and I haven't forgotten, Davis Jubilee. Avi brings in Davis Jubilee. I thought he was golfing with Pete from Sharpie. I don't know what the connection is there, but I'm going to find out. You know I'm on it. So he's off the links. He's not with Pete. He's in a different location. There's a telescope in his window. What is he, a peeping Jubilee? We have Jimmy Beam Jubilee, Davis Jubilee, Dahlia Jubilee, maybe Alex Jubilee for all I know. So what is it? Peeping Davis Jubilee? Peeping Tom Jubilee? He goes off, and he's in a new location. He's somewhere. He goes off on some diatribe that I couldn't understand. It's like he had a bunch of chicken bones in his mouth. So I don't know what Davis Jubilee had to really say, because at that point I was ready to fall asleep on Jubilee because he was rambling on with the corncob pipe and everything else it is that he does. But I'll give him credit. He is in round 2. So those are the competitors as we take a little break and we get on to, hey, listen, the next guy, I don't have to say too much about him. Take out the trash on his podcast. He's a spokesperson for the WWAB. His most important show, perhaps the most important on the network, Road to Recovery, Saving Lives. A guy that I respect more than anything. Here it is, and it's personal. Duke the Dumpster Droese in the main event against Rich Masadi. We know this goes back 20 years. We know there's been allegations of assault, charges, accusations. There's a long history, vandalism. Supposedly it was self-defense. Let's remember that Rich is up 1-0, so this is an elimination match in a best of 3. I'll say that to say this. Duke looked very smooth, collected, confident, very businesslike. I'm going to say that. I know it's very personal. We go through the montage again that Avi has put together that's second to none, whether it's for the tournament or for each individual competitor. He leaves nothing unturned, no stone unturned when it comes to everyone getting their cup of coffee in their 15 minutes in this tournament. That's for sure. Rich comes on, and it's shocking to see him. He's got an eye patch. He's got a neck brace. He's shaking and rocking kind of like I'm doing. You see what the green room does to people. Assaults, druggings, anxiety, people running out like Miranda, and who knows what happened to Mindy. A lot of different things happening. Who knows where Pinocchio Joe is, and you see I'm still recovering here and forging through. So it was very disturbing. He was very emotional. But here we go in the elimination matchup. Rich has, what I noticed right from the rip, and a lot of fans did, a tribute to his father and a picture over his shoulder, wherever his location was, kind of like a guardian angel. It really was something to see. And very relatable, Rich Masadi, very emotional, very heartfelt. I connected with that, and I think a lot of fans did. And again, Duke, laid back and professional as ever. So as we move on here of the Night 5 coverage, it's a heads or tails. Duke gets tails called, and in the first challenge, Duke plays a little mind games himself, and he lets Rich go first, and the first debate comes up. That's what Avi Klein picks as debate, and Rich's first debate is, why should Duke be put behind bars for the alleged assault? Now, Rich goes on and gets very personal, and wow, I didn't know all this information except what I saw on social media, what Jay Brony emailed to me. He called out Duke, and he did call for all these different charges. It was unbelievable, very emotional. In turn, Duke had to say, why, Rich, in your estimation, Duke, why is Rich the weakest link in the field of 64? These are the questions in the debate challenge that Avi came up with. We're in the main event. I hope you're here. We're on an hour and a half. I hope you stay till the end. I forged through this. This was no shtick, no chicanery. This is the real deal. This is what happens in the green room and what it does to you. So Duke goes on in very strong words. He says that he's an open book to all these accusations. His past is no secret. Who are you, Rich, to question him? You came to me. You came to my town. You came to my state of Tennessee. I'm one of the good guys now. It was self-defense. I was never charged. You can't roll up on me. You can't make me feel like I'm no good. Those are quotes and phrases that Duke the Dumpster Droese, a real man, threw out there. It was unbelievable. Avi comes back and says, Duke, You didn't answer the question. You didn't answer the question. And Duke just basically says, Rich, with all your problems and delusional, you need to go to a meeting. And again, Avi says that you didn't answer the question, Duke. So here we go as we forge on here. Fans, bear with me, please. We forge on here. Again, I'm going to get through this for you. Duke versus Rich. A second question. Why is Duke a fraud? This is to Rich. Why is Duke a fraud? He went on to say how it's ugly it's gotten, and that he traveled to Tennessee to make amends, to try to mend fences. It wasn't right. He wasn't feeling right. They've known each other for years. He said he didn't go on down there. Rich didn't go to Tennessee with any bad intentions. He went to mend fences. He said Duke is delusional. Duke is a bully. It wasn't any bum rush. Duke, in turn, why should Rich's family and friends watch his podcast, which Rich is very successful in that line of work, as opposed to Duke's podcast, A Road to Recovery? Bear with me, fans. I'm getting through. Duke talks about Road to Recovery and welcomes Rich and his family and friends all in. He's got no ill will, he said. It was only self-defense. They came to him. He's welcoming everybody in, but they may be brainwashed by Rich. And that there may need to be an intervention, and he wants to be a part of it. He has mental issues. This is what Duke is saying and saying to the fans, and he's willing to help and put all differences aside. Rich gets a little bit of a rebuttal, and I do like this, and I'll notice this about Rich Masadi. Golden Fine Klein, he addresses Avi as GFK. I like it, Rich. GFK. Very nice, Golden Fine Klein. And in turn, again, we see the photo, and you can't help but be reminded of it because it's a 1-year anniversary for Rich's dad. And it really was unbelievable to see the photo and tribute to his father, and you know how much it means to him over his shoulder. So we go to the votes. Pete votes for Duke and definitely agrees and says, according to his information and investigation, that it was self-defense in whatever alleged assault that took place. Avi, in turn, waits because he always changes the rules. Very important here. He wants to put it out to the fans. The fans vote. The votes come pouring in. They're taking their time. Vote, vote, vote. Duke, Rich, Duke, Rich, Duke, Rich, 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 Duke, 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 Duke. Vote. It comes down to a tie. Avi waits to vote. Again, he waits to vote, and he wants to come down to a tie. And all of a sudden, who pops up? Taekwon. A vote comes in last minute by Taekwon for Duke, and Duke wins. Duke is up in the challenge. Duke wins this challenge because of Taekwon. I don't know what's going on with these questions. But Avi changed the rules again. GFK, as Rich said. I'll give you credit. So Duke is up on this. We go to the second challenge. Duke is up 1-0 on night 5. Again, the photo of Rich's dad. How inspirational. We go on to the second challenge of promos. And it's a who, what, where, why. Again, that Avi's been following all night on night 5. Duke, here we go. You're at the FedEx Center in Memphis on June 28th. You're taking on Paulie from Rocky Balboa movies. Paulie. You know who Paulie is, right? I don't have to explain it to you fans. And you have to do it while laughing. Unbelievable promo by Duke. He's a professional. He's done this his whole life. Rich, in turn, as at the Westchester County Civic Center, which I appeared with Bruno Sammartino, Jim Cornette, the Samoans, and so on and so forth, a Public Enemy. What a great night. It really was. I'll say that to say this. Rich is at the Westchester County Civic Center on June 30th. His opponent is Doc Brown from Back to the Future, and he has to do that while being interrupted by a Rick Astley singing back and forth. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna go around and desert you. Meanwhile, Rich knocked out of the box. It was totally an amazing performance. This guy is a 5-tool player. He sang Never Give You Up. He went back and forth between Doc Brown, Back to the Future. Unbelievable promo. I'm going to say that to say this. Duke's next promo. Very touching. This is where the story changes. This is where night 5 changes. This is where it gets serious. Reality hits home in the green room. A promo. Duke has to cut a promo against the 1996 Duke the Dumpster Droese. what you know now at this age, Mike Droese, and what you do for a living now and all you've lived since 1996. Talk some sense into that Duke Droese. In other words, look in the mirror and talk to yourself. So Duke gets very deep. He's brutally honest. He pulls no punches. It's Duke's story to tell. It was incredible. What a story. He was vulnerable. It was movie worthy. It was powerful. Wow is all I can say about Duke. That's why he is the man that he is and is saving lives and works every day, and he's so influential. And that's why he, right now, is one of the odds-on favorites, not only his own shows, but the WWAB, as I lose my voice here and forge on for you, the fans. It really was unbelievable. In turn, Rich promo is basically... First off, congratulations. Rich Masadi is getting married. Obviously, he just had a new baby, so congratulations on that. A little Richie. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's been 1 year, so we have thoughts and prayers for your family and your dad. May he rest in peace. And again, congratulations on your upcoming nuptials and of course, the new baby, the new bambino, so to speak. Congratulations, Rich Masadi, and that's from the bottom of the GOC's heart. So we go with a tribute that Rich comes up in his promo to his dad, his father, whatever you want to call it, tomato. It was truly moving. Avi comes up and asks Rich to tell your father, Rich speaking to his dad, tell him what he means to you, what the tournament means, and ask him for your help. So Rich, it's very moving. It really is. I don't really want to get into it. I don't want to get too deep. He talks out to his father and he's never really seen his success. He wants to see him make it. His dad didn't get to see him make it. And thank you for bringing me to the wrestling matches and turning me on. And he goes into the history, very moving in reality. And this is what you get and what Rich Masadi tapped into and what Duke Droese tapped into. Reality and the performance of a lifetime that's based in reality. God bless you, Rich Masadi. And God bless your dad. So unbelievable what went on there. Duke, as we said, is up 1-0 tonight, but Rich is 1-0 in the series. So we know that as we go to the votes. Again, Pete comes in. He says how powerful it was for Rich. Pete votes Rich. And again, Avi Klein changes the rules at his benefit. And Avi changes and lets the fans vote first. The votes come pouring in. Again, Duke, Rich, Duke, Rich, Duke, Rich. A lot of support for Rich Masadi out there. Very touching story. How could you not to relate it? And, of course, Duke's struggles and battles and what a good man he is now and what he does for the world. The votes were close. And if they tried to vote twice, some people tried to vote twice, it was chaos. It was pure chaos, pun intended. Chaos in the green room. A lot of fraud, a lot of people voting in, a lot of votes not counted, people voting twice. Avi stops the votes. That's how crazy it got, and it was tied. It was tied. That's how crazy the voting was insane at the end. It was the end of the green room, night 5. I can't explain it to you anymore. That's how crazy it was. Avi stops the vote after Pete had already voted for Rich. It was back and forth. Avi stops the votes. Now it's up to him to break the tie. As I struggle here in pain. Avi votes Duke. Duke sweeps 2-0 on night 5. The series is now tied 1-1 between Rich and Duke. Tied 1-1 in the main event. Avi was the deciding vote. Duke swept night 5. It's 1-1. The next time these two men, rivals, longtime friends, see each other, it'll be an elimination in the green room. Duke addresses the fans. He says it's real and we play rough. And Avi pulled out everything but the kitchen sink and he wasn't prepared. And Rich could have won tonight, but he's not letting up. And Duke came out victorious. What an incredible main event. What an incredible ending to an incredible night. It really was something to behold. Next week coming up, this week coming up, as I continue to recover, stay tuned on all social media platforms. Stay tuned on my updates. Comment, like, share. Go on to Avi's page, all the host page. This is the fastest growing, hottest rising show, movement, whatever you want to call it in the entertainment industry. Every Saturday night, live. If you missed this and you're not here, I don't know what to tell you. Night 6 coming up this Saturday, June 12th. Mystery entrance galore. It's been rumored that Hugh Morris, a.k.a. from Face Value, Bill DeMott, will square off against his old-time buddy from the Jersey Shore, Crowbar. Crowbar is up 1-0 in the best of 3. It's also rumored that the pastor, Andy McDaniel, will take on, from Unmasking the Truth, once again, his good friend, the Patriot Del Wilkes. Let's remember, Andy's up 1-0 in that matchup in the best of 3. Avi has announced that there will be a Hall of Fame athlete on night 6, a film and TV legend on night 6, a comedic legend on night 6, a huge announcement about Mark Henry, and we will find out who his opponent will be. Check out the movies, check out the trailers, check out the green room, check out the Guardian of Chaos. This is what we do. This is what I do. Sick or not, drugged or not, roofied or not. June 12th, 8 p.m., Saturday night, live. Avi Klein's The Green Room on the WWAB. Don't you dare miss it.